Hi everyone, I actually just did Instagram live on this, but my phone decided to not save the video even though I said to save it. So I'm doing it again, but this time it's going to be shorter because I rambled as usual on my Instagram live. So what I'm talking about today is syncing your cycle with the moon. And I thought it was very fitting because tonight's a full moon. If you don't know that, then you need to look up more because it's fucking huge and it's in the sky. So I've been thrown off guard because I hadn't saved my video and that just really annoys me. But basically, it's incredible. So melatonin is like your sleep hormone and all your hormones work together. Not one of them is working by themselves. So melatonin affects your estrogen, it affects your progesterone, it affects your testosterone, it affects your insulin, your cortisol, a lot of things, okay? And melatonin is affected by the light in your environment. All right, that's why a lot of people will struggle to get to sleep these days because they are constantly surrounded by bright lights. And whereas in like the ancient days, our bodies would know when it's time to go to sleep because we would be getting less light in our environment. It would be getting darker. Now, we are very cyclical beings. Women are synced with we should be synced with the moon. That's how it's been for thousands and thousands of years. But most of us aren't synced with the moon now because of our lifestyle, which is very high stress, crappy food, so much fake light and stuff that it affects our cycle. And that's for most women, that's fine. Fine, not optimal, but fine. But if you want to be cool and you want to be synced with the moon, because it's just awesome to be synced with the moon, this is how you do it. So the first thing you can do is to actually sit in the moon's light. So when you sit in the moon sort of gives out these rays. It's got different magnetic rays that it gives out and we absorb them. And that affects our melatonin, it affects our biochemistry, and it can affect your period. It can actually help bring your period back. So if you've tried everything and you still don't have your period back, have you tried sitting in the moon? Try doing that. It can also help to regulate your cycle, to balance your hormones, and to help you ovulate. And ovulation is the most important part of your cycle. If you're not ovulating, something's wrong. But something amazing is that you can shift your ovulation date with the help of the moon or light. So, some women ovulate like on the first week or two of their cycle, and it's very early ovulation. I mean, it's fine, but it's just that we prefer ovulating towards the middle because then we get a nice follicular phase, a nice ovulation phase, a nice luteal phase, and a nice menstrual phase. So if you ovulate either the really beginning or the really end of your cycle, what you can do is for about 3 days in the middle of your cycle, you can sleep with more light. So leave a whole light on, put a LED like fake candle on, sit in the moonlight that night, let some of the ridiculous amount of city light come in, all right? Do something like that just for 3 days. And that basically tells your body, now's the time for ovulation. Because in the caveman days, so it'd be very dark around their period time, and that is because it's like a darkness, it's a softer time, more inward, and that would be a new moon. And because a new moon is when there's no moon, basically. There's obviously a moon there, but you can't see it. It's not bright. And then they would ovulate at the full moon because the full moon, the energy is at its highest, it's bright, and that's how our energy is around ovulation. Okay, and a period is a new cycle. So when you have your period, it's a time for change. It's something new you're releasing, same as a new moon. Okay, anyway, that's a whole other thing. So women would typically ovulate around the full moon because that was when they had the most light coming into them when they'd be sleeping. And remember, this is caveman days. They didn't have houses, okay? So they would experience changes in their hormones to the changes in the light outside. Now, some women do it reverse. They bleed on the full moon and they ovulate on the new moon. And that's sort of the business woman, they say. And then the motherhood woman is the one that's more traditional and that she bleeds on the new moon, ovulates on the full moon. I hope this is making sense. If you want to swap that, the other way to swap it is to also slowly move your ovulation day by doing this light trick and also by sitting in the moon's rays. So I challenge you tonight after you finish this or whenever you finish this to go sit in the moon to soak up the rays. I actually find it really helps lower my cortisol as well. It's just there's something so magical about it, and it's just so fucking beautiful and amazing. So go and do that for your cycle. So yeah, sitting in the moon can regulate your cycle. It can help boost ovulation. It can help bring on ovulation or bring on your cycle, and it can also allow you to be in sync with the moon. So right now you'd be ovulating. Right now I am ovulating, or I'm in that ovulation phase. I'm actually towards the end of ovulation and in my ovulation week, and pretty much from like tomorrow in my luteal phase. So I'm not quite in sync yet, but hence as I finish recording this, I'm gonna go sit out on my back veranda and look at the moon because it is so bright and beautiful. And I'm sorry that my Instagram live didn't save. Sometimes that happens. I click save and it doesn't save. And if any of you know why my Instagram lives don't save, please let me know. Please let me know if you have any questions about this video, or if you've got anything else you definitely want me to talk about or do, or if you hate me doing these IGTV things. I know on the poll a lot of you said that you don't like it, but I don't like it either, but I feel like we have to get used to it because it's actually more practical on a phone, and it's easier for me to do than like recording a YouTube, editing, putting it up, blah, 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 blah. But I will keep doing YouTubes and just see which one plays out better. Yeah, have a very nice night or day or whatever you've got. And let me know if you have any other questions about the moon. I will try and talk a bit more about the moon because it's so fascinating and I'm obsessed with the moon and I love it. Okay, me rambling as usual. Bye.